Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is the Walking Dead Comic-Con teaser facts. We're going to talk about what we were able to discover, what we found out. We've done a lot of streams, a lot of interaction today. We're trying to get as many people as we possibly can included, get as many thoughts in the videos. We got some early risers here. We got some late night people staying up. I see LH Star in the house, Tina Brunk in the house, Samantha W. LH Star, what you got there? Did anyone notice Carol and the King? Yes. And that has been reported that they do have a little bit of a fling. We don't know if it's long term. We did see Carol also kind of hugged up on Daryl. We think that's more of a friendship thing, but thanks for pointing that out. Also, Tina, anyone find it weird that Rick came out of the tent? Looked like he was sort of sneaking away with a couple bags. You never know. May hold true to that theory we talked about where Rick hitting the road. I'm kind of torn at this point. I don't know if Rick's leaving. I don't know if he's captured. A lot of things, but there's a lot of speculation. We'll do predictions all through the weekend. This is a little bit later stream than normal. I'm glad a lot of you guys are attending. Many of you have been here for all the streams. We've done like 6 or 7 different broadcasts, a variety of topics, and believe me, I appreciate all the interaction and all the support. Just some super ideas so far. You're right, Jennifer Lawson. Jerry got a little bit of love. Looks like Ann and Tara may have something going on. And some of the facts that we saw, this is a little bit of fact and a little bit of speculation. So we know that Ann also drew a picture, and you'll see that by Father Gabriel. There's a notepad, and at the bottom of it signed Ann. And it looks like a female with glasses, and I'm just wondering when Jadis took the bucket off of the head of the walker that had the pearl necklace, could that possibly be a former Jadis relationship? Maybe Jadis is moving on with Tara, and there's something in her history, and we'll get a little bit of that backstory as well. I'm not super interested in a Jadis backstory, but I think, there is some mystique around that, like what happened, how'd she get there. She is, one of the facts that we do know is she does go back to the junkyard, so there's still some things going down with that, and she is on the walkie-talkie with the people up in the helicopter. So I'm going to go through a couple bullet points. Feel free to chime in. Once again, we'll try to get as many people included in these videos as possible, but literally we've had thousands and thousands of comments up and down the screen. The one thing that I would like for you guys to do, if we don't get a chance to answer your question in a live stream, leave it in the comments, and I'll try to go back and respond or like as many of the comments we possibly can. As you guys know, it's just, there's an agenda, there's some bullet points we want to talk about, there's some people that jump in with super chats, and we do have to jump over and answer their questions, and then we try to get as many other people mixed in as we possibly can. So here we go. Here's a couple of the facts. I'm going to stick a little bit to my agenda starting out. Is all the group starts out working together. You saw the hopefully the thumbnail that I put up. They go to D.C. They're up around the Smithsonian Institute, all the museums up there, and it looks like they're taking just any old-fashioned supplies they can get. They're taking a wagon and just rebuilding society. So it looks like the group is really starting to branch out a little bit and do some hardcore looting. Definitely a fact. Lakeisha Faison says, what if Maggie set up the hilltop with the bat so she can make it seem the saviors can't be trusted so she can kill them? I absolutely am on board with that, Lakeisha. We did touch on that a little bit. I don't know at this point. It was either last stream or the stream before. We talked about that a little bit. I think that Maggie has a I think she's going to be a little bit sneaky. I wouldn't put it past her if she or someone, one of her close confidants, actually wrote on the wall and said, save us, we're all Negan. Final warning, planting the bat. I would not put any of that past Maggie. I think we're going to see a little bit darker Maggie. It would be sad, though, if Maggie did turn heel or turn a little bit too far against Rick and then she ended up dying. I wouldn't want to see that go down because of all the good things that Maggie's done. But, hey, who knows? Maybe they turn her into a really rough character, and I'm not saying we're cheering when she dies, but it won't hurt quite as bad if she betrays the group. So definitely a good thought with that. Appreciate your comment. Lakeisha, there's a lot of stuff to catch up. It has been literally nonstop the last few hours. So just some good points, some good conversations, and thanks for getting that in. It is something we are going to discuss a little bit more because I do think that there's a little bit of backstabbing going on. Doesn't appear as if it starts that way. I know in some of the panels they did talk about we will see the past, present, future. But keep in mind, the past is not really the past. The past is still the future for us because we haven't seen it. And that's what's going to be a little bit bizarre, is we're starting at a time skip, a future point. So I do think there are going to be some things that we become privy to as we go. It's like, oh, okay, that's what happened when Maggie was pregnant. Oh, that's what happened when they were rebuilding. But I don't think they'll focus on it so much that it gets extremely boring. So we know the group is working together. We also see from a couple of the stills and a couple of the snapshots that Gregory attacks Maggie. Now, I don't think we see Gregory in a hanging scene, but we do see Earl with his hands tied up. So the question that I'm going to ask is, do they hang Gregory and spare Earl for trying to kill Maggie? Was Earl in on it? The Spoiling Dead fan page reported that Earl attempted, but they didn't say anything about Gregory. They said that Gregory would be hung for setting Earl up. But to me, it looks like Earl is the one with his hands tied up, and Gregory is the one that tried to attack Maggie. So maybe both of them tried to assassinate her. But it looks like it's kind of dark, and they built it. They got some bonfires over on the side, and I don't know if Rick's been invited to that party. So that might be a little bit of Rick and Michonne's frustration, is maybe Maggie's carrying out her own form of justice without checking in with Rick. And I'm neutral with this. I'm not saying that she doesn't have the right to do that. I'm just saying that Rick might feel a little bit left out. Thoughts and comments. Let's see what we got here. So Tanya says, oh, Rick and Andrew Lincoln, so-called confirmed he was leaving the season. So much of Rick's story to tell on the panel today. Yeah, it was a little bit. We posted that video as well too, and I want to give a special shout. I want to give a thank you to the Walking Dead Nerd, who is also one of our sponsors. She sent the video to me and of her actual recording, and it was the panel happening live when Andrew Lincoln was talking about his family and being away from them, and he did say that Rick still had some story to tell. So whether it's going to be told over 5 episodes, I don't think they're killing Rick. I just think the panel, everything I hear at this point makes me think that Rick Grimes will still be alive. Maybe they're being vague. Maybe they're intentionally being vague to keep the fans from having an uproar. But the fact is, and this goes along with the video, is that Andrew did confirm he's leaving. I know there's going to be some people out there saying it's a publicity stunt. You know, they're just saying it. No, look, if the newspaper reported it, Robert Kirkman said it, Rick said it, they're not going to talk about him wanting to leave. And that would be like using his family. So they're not going to use his family as an excuse to do a publicity stunt. So just stop that stuff right now. He wants to be away. He wants to go back, spend time with his family. Maybe for just a year or two. You know, maybe there's some events. He wants to see his kids grow a little bit, and they'll bring him back in season 11, season 12, season 13. Maybe they leave the door open for him, or bring him back as a cameo appearance, or bring him back and kill him. I mean, there's a lot of things that they can do. Or, I know you guys don't like this as a popular thought, maybe they write him out and then recast somebody else as an older, beat-up, more decrepit Rick Grimes. But regardless of how it goes down, Andrew Lincoln is leaving. But whether he leaves or whether he dies, that's kind of what we're holding on hope to. We're hoping that the character of Rick Grimes does not die. And I don't think, Tanya, I can absolutely, there's no way. There's zero chance. You just don't do that from a professional standpoint. And punk the entire audience. That wouldn't even be punking someone, Tanya. That would be blatantly lying to everyone. And if you start doing Comic-Cons and all you're doing is bringing people together and lying to them, you're going to isolate yourself from your fan base so fast that it's there. You know, I think there's a difference between tricking some people or misleading some people or being vague. Him saying, here's the difference in that. him saying that there's more Rick's story to tell, and I love the Rick character, but I need to leave, that's being vague. Him saying that I'm leaving and not leaving is lying, and that's a blatant lie. And if you do that to people over and over again, they're not going to trust you, and they're not even going to show up for Comic-Cons. They're going to be like, why the hell should we even show up? All you're going to do is lie to us every year when we come. People want Easter eggs. They want hidden clues. They want to be able to figure it out. They want to talk about it. They want to discuss it. They don't want to support a whole bunch of liars. So I wholeheartedly disagree. He's done. I think the sooner we embrace the fact he's leaving, the easier it's going to be. It's not going to be easy, but I still think the season is going to be exciting. So my thoughts on that. So we do know there is a hanging that is confirmed by Spoiling Dead's fan page, so that is a fact. I want to get into a little bit of the violence and the Daryl in particular. And I know Daryl is really primed to be the lead on the show. Everything kind of goes through Daryl. But his reaction to things, and I don't know why he's beating up former saviors. I don't know why he's getting in a fight, and then, it looks like he's getting in, he hits a guy with a pot. He had already punched him. There's a fight scene between Daryl and it looks like the same guy on the bridge. We also see Rick and Daryl have some words, and then we see Rick and Daryl at the motorcycle. Looks like it's going to go down. So one common theme that we do see is that Daryl is fighting a lot. So whether it's justified or whether Daryl's just losing it, the one thing I will say about Daryl, and this is a fact as well, is he talks about when it was a small group of us, we could do anything. Daryl sees all these people as a hindrance, as a detriment to the group. Daryl wants a small, close-knit group where they can all trust each other. So he's not a fan of everything that's going down. So, once again, that's another fact, and I think these are going to be building blocks that as we see what is true in the trailer and what we did over the last couple seasons, and I think it worked out really well, we broke down these trailers and the information that we got into facts and speculation. So the facts we can use as building blocks. The speculation, we're going to have a lot of fun with it. So one of the other things that we know to be a fact is Jadis. Now, there are some things that could be speculation. We see Jadis and Tara walking side by side. We saw, and I'm going to call her Jadis, could be Anne if you want to be politically correct. We saw a picture of a female drawn by Anne. Could have been a relative, but maybe that was a past relationship. So we could speculate that Tara and Anne have a relationship at this point after a year and a half. No proof of that as of yet. But we can prove that Jadis is talking via walkie-talkie to someone up in the helicopter. We see her on the walkie-talkie. The helicopter's turned around. We also see Anne go into the junkyard. That's relevant. So we saw the plant grown up, so maybe she's there looking for Morgan. Possibly could be a fear reference in there. But it could also, she might have been going back looking for ways to communicate with that helicopter. So that's something that I think would be a little bit more factual. Another big fact and a huge, you know what, Jennifer Lawson, I love that. Fact, this season will kick ass. That might be the best fact of all. I have seen people, so funny throughout the day, I have seen people that were cursing the show, cursing the writers, cursing everything, completely backtracking on comments and videos today. I've never seen more positive interaction. And Jennifer, I'm even going to go out on that limb too. Not a huge gamble. I'm going to say season 9 is going to be the best Walking Dead season ever. I know a lot of people liked 5. A lot of people liked, I think it may be 3, somewhere in there. But I think with the Whispers, with the Commonwealth, with Magna and company, from what I've seen today, there's just too much action. I do have to make a couple announcements. So number one, we've got a lot of new viewers here. This is about our 5th or 6th stream. We're trying to do as many as we can to reach out to as many people as we possibly can, because we've got people all over the country, all over the world watching these streams, so we want to hit different time zones. Tomorrow, we will be doing a lot of streams as well. I don't know the exact schedule, but just stay tuned. Could start early and go all throughout the day. Hopefully you guys are having a good time with this. If you are enjoying the streams, make sure you slap that like button. If you're brand new to what we do, subscribe. We want to get you involved as quick as possible. So all throughout the week, we are going to be talking about The Walking Dead. But I do have to bring up just a little bit of humor because the CGI in The Walking Dead is always it's a point of contention, right? The deer with Michonne, that was some rough CGI, and people made fun of it. Shiva, when Shiva first came out, the CGI was a little rough. I think I got something to top that. This CGI that I saw in the trailer was great, but if there's one small thing that I did pick apart, go back and watch the scene. We're going to put it up on the screen right now. The water under the bridge was really, really bad CGI. I don't know if you caught that, but I watched the video so many times over and over again. It's like nothing is moving. The water is not that. It was rough. So the broken down bridge and the water was pretty poorly done. I don't know if they thought that we were going to pick it apart to that level. But to those of you that say that all we ever do is talk about the positive and we're Walking Dead fanboys and we never find any fault or flaw in it, here you go. This is for you, everybody. We're going to pick apart the CGI a little bit. We still love the show. We still love the writing. We're still here. We're probably one of the most positive Walking Dead forums, one of the most positive Walking Dead groups that are out there. But sometimes we call it like we see it, and the water that was CGI'd in there was pretty bad. We can all admit that. All right, let's get this off the screen. There's only so much of it that I can bear to stand. We'll get back to Daryl and his violent tendencies. So a couple more things that really, really awesome. The introduction of Magna, and if you weren't sure that was Magna, you also heard one of the girls turn around and say, Yumiko. So we know that Yumiko's there. We saw just a little glimpse of her. She's getting ready to go Kung Fu mode and take some people out. You saw her rear back barehanded, so she does look like got some martial arts skills in there, hopefully. I mean, if not, maybe a street fighter or boxer, but she definitely was getting ready to light something up. So we know that Magna is in character. I didn't actually hear Magna, but I think there was a reference to it. But I did hear Yumiko. So awesome introduction. Just some other facts. So as we talked about, the DC trip is factual that they're running out of supplies, and we can see them living it up a little bit differently. Another thing that is obvious that we can build on is the time skip. The time skip looks to be 1 to 2 years. We got to see baby Herschel. So we know that this is taking place in the future. We see an older Rick, just all the clues that are there, which also means that Negan has been under lock and key for a couple of years. So think about this for a second. Rick has had him locked up, and as much as Daryl and Maggie do not like Negan, he hasn't been killed. He has not been assassinated. So if Maggie is planning something, now some of that could be, let's build up our resources, let's make sure we're prepared. Maggie did say that. The other thing is we know that she was probably, 5-6 months pregnant, so she had to get through the rest of her pregnancy. And now we got baby Herschel's probably a year and a half old. So for 2 years, roughly, Negan has been locked up. He's healed. We got to see him, throat scar, all of those things. The communities have moved on. So Negan being jailed. Jail and the only, having a couple people to talk to. I don't know that Henry will go into Carl's role where Henry could possibly unlock the jail cell. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think that Henry might be intrigued, that Henry could take a little bit of that Carl storyline? I know it's a little bit of a stretch, and this is a fact video, but I will throw in a random prediction or random question or speculation. How do you feel? Do you feel that Henry could be gravitating into that? Tanya says yes. I mean, Henry has already unlocked a gate to let Gregory out. You'd think he had learned his lesson, but maybe not. Might be too repetitive. Tegan says, could see that. Vector says Rick dies. Rick's not going to die. We are holding on hope. Valar is hoping not. Well, the only thing that I would say to that is, what if someone left the jail cell open and Negan did not escape? Because Negan said something that really got me thinking. And hopefully I don't lose my voice during the stream, because we have done a lot of speculating, a lot of talking today. So we got about 10 more minutes and we're winding this thing down. Or there will be no Kills Discussing videos tomorrow. Jimmy's Jammin' says, if anyone lets Negan out, it'll be Henry. So my question is, in order to gain trust, and thinking about what Negan said to Rick, where he says, you're painting a nice picture there, when will I get to see it? Is it possible that the jail cell is unlocked and Negan could have already seen it, literally and figuratively, that he could have opened the gate and escaped any time? Is Negan playing the role of good prisoner, where when Rick does walk up one day, Negan's going to open the gate and say, Rick, you can trust me now. I could have gotten out a long time ago. Because once Negan's there, I don't know that Rick's going to go up there and pull on the gate every day. And I'm going to call on the hardcore comic fans, because I'm going off of a little bit of what I know and rumors and speculation. Was it Carl that unlocked the gate for Negan in the comic? I mean, wasn't the jail cell open for a long time and that sort of went down? I need my comic fans to chime in and let me know if we're on the right track with that. I don't know how big of a deal it was in the comics. I like that too, right? Just catching up with a couple comments here. So Lamar says, Negan is truly a smooth talker. Freddie, can you do me a favor? One, it's just not classy to come to someone else's stream and spam your own channel. It is not likely to make anybody in here want to be involved in your channel. It's just on poor taste. If you want to participate, you want to hang out with us, that's fine, but we're here to talk about The Walking Dead. We're not here to talk about other people's personal interests. Well, Lonnie, I have not gotten up to that part in the comic either. But I'm just going off of what some people have told me, and I am going to ramp it up just a little bit more. So expect some comic reads. I got to get up another 20 issues to really kind of be in tune with what's going on right now. Daniel, that's actually funny. So Vector wants to see Negan kill Alpha. You might get to see that if things play out, and that'll be more, Vector, on our speculation video that we talk about, because we added a little bit of that earlier. But we'll sort of piece it together. We're going to take all the facts that we have, and we're gradually going to... We'll start out with bold predictions, and then we're going to streamline our predictions down to where they just make a little bit more sense. And yes, in a couple seasons, who knows? Maybe Negan we'll kill Alpha. But I think they are going to paint Alpha as the worst villain that we've ever seen. And we're just going to add a couple more facts in here that may or may not come to light. Big fact at the end of the teaser, and I think that's really wanted, they wanted that to be the last thought, is Eugene and Rosita running and hiding from the Whispers. Where did they go? Where are they? Just that little bit of extra in there to let you know that, hey, this is a big group of people. They've got some structure. They know they are unbelievably evil. And I think we're going to see, with Alpha, we're going to see something that's going to take all of the group banding together. And that could be part of that speculation. So if you want fact versus speculation, fact, Negan has been jailed for 2 years. Fact, what we've heard so far, his dialogue is much more as a prophecy, as a teacher, as a not kind of in your face. Now, he did have a little quick lash back to Rick, but there was some accuracy when Rick said, you know, how long are you going to pretend like you're in charge? And Negan basically said the same thing to Rick. I don't think that was off limits. But it does look like Negan might have mellowed out. And the show, now the speculation part of that is, will they get to a point where they need Negan? Not that they want Negan. So my question for all of the group right here, right now, will Negan become the resource that they need to fight and beat the Whisperers? Is he the person? You know, we look at it and we say, well, Daryl can hold his own. We don't know what's going to happen with Rick, Ezekiel, Jesus. There's some fighters. But in the comic, it was Negan. On the TV show, could Negan get back in all of our good graces and be the hero of the show by making things right? And it looks like a lot of people are jumping in here saying absolutely. So recap really quickly, just a few of the facts we went over. The group starts out working together, but there seems to be some animosity. Looks like there's some love themes. There's some relationships that have had time to develop. We're going to talk about that in a video tomorrow. We're going to do some of our predictions as well. We do get to see Gregory attack Maggie. There is a hanging's going to go on. Gregory is what Spilling Dead's fan page says, but we do see Earl tied up as well. Rick and Daryl start out pretty good relationship, but you can see that starts to deteriorate throughout the show. There's a couple times they have words. Daryl, a lot of fights, a lot of involvement. Jada/Ann, she could be the way out. She could be the answer. She's got some communications, got some military resources. They may need them to fight the Whispers. Magna Yumiko will be making their appearance on the show. The group is spending a lot of time in D.C. The time skip, Negan is jailed, and of course, the introduction of the Whispers. I want to thank everybody for being here. Once again, a few hundred people in these streams. You guys could do me a favor, hit that like button. Also, the videos that we did earlier today, check those out, leave comments on them, and also comment on other people's comments. I don't always get a chance to call on everybody, but I'm counting on the 999 Army in order to help me with that, just to kind of keep the dialogue going. Also, a special thanks to all the patrons, all the 999 Army, all the sponsors. You can see some of the new patrons, some of the new sponsors, and a super special shout out to the Walking Dead nerd who has been feeding information down here and also repping the 999 Army gear and talking to people and being there live. So if you guys are out at Walker Stalker events or Comic-Cons and you're repping the 999 gear, post it on our Facebook fan page or just send me a message and let me know. And I'll definitely want to give you guys some recognition. If you're watching the playback, this is the closing credits. You can go ahead and roll out, and I'll see you tomorrow. If you're still in the stream, if you type a quick 999, I will try to get as many shout-outs as I possibly can. Once again, I'm not going to be able to get everybody. I'll shout out till I lose my voice. And if I miss you, then give it a shot the next video or leave it in the comments, and we'll make sure that, that we get you some recognition. So I want to say what's up to Hippo. Hippo is officially in the house. Christina Wiggins says, I love this channel. I'm new to the group. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Lakeisha Faison, thanks for that super chat and appreciate you being here. Rai, appreciate you. Julie McGuire. Tegan, thank you so much for being part of the 99 Army. Ronan Hempenstall, thank you. eBeach72, Shannon Brown. Casey, Tanya Dockstader, Maggie B., Fluff Salisbury, Owen, Carol Leathers, Lamar Lanham, Tracy Fisher, Matthew Levinson, Justin Barrett, Rublo's Channel, Pete M., LH Star, my moderators, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kel, wonderful job. You guys give them a shout out too. They do an amazing job here each and every stream. Unbelievable dedication with the moderators. Best moderators on any YouTube stream anywhere. No doubt about it. Tina Brunk, thanks for being here. Eric Bennett, good to see you again, my man. Deidre Perkins. Gina Crockett, thank you so much. Yes, it's almost time to get a little bit of rest, I think. Jimmy's jamming. What's going on, my man? Fald Van Squad. Maybe I said it right. I'm doing my best there. Jennifer Lawson, thank you so much. This is your second. Hopefully, we see you in the next 100 streams that we do. We got some people that have been in almost every stream over the last couple years that we've been discussing this. What's up, Mig? Good to see you. The Real Jabberjaws, thanks for being here. Julia Drums. Jenna, thank you. Legion, appreciate you being here. Molly Marshall, thank you. Mitch True, thank you as well. Daryl Dixon fan, #1. Thank you, Daryl Dixon fan. Howling Wolf, good to see you. Walani, thank you again. Valar, always a pleasure. The voice, the dialogue, and even the pronunciation of my words is officially done. Thank you, Valar. And anybody, Daniel, Angela Lewis, thank you. I'm going to miss a ton of people in shout-outs. I've got to wind this thing down. I wish I could stream for you guys 24 hours. Love the interaction, love the group. But this dude is officially spent. Thank you. I'll see everybody tomorrow. You guys have a wonderful night. Peace.